Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
ATIP454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Inside Out 2, I thought the first film was alright. It wasn't the greatest film ever, but it was I say, 5 good. Being average, 8 being great. It was a 7.9. Yeah. It was almost great.
Yeah, it was like I think it was a solid 7.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. There's other people who realize, oh God, if you don't give it a 10, you hate it. No, it's a 7. So we get the trailer for part 2. Remember how the last one ended with like, what's puberty? Which, yes, you turn 13, all kinds of crazy stuff happens to you. There's some kids I've known that literally became like different human beings. Like, I knew when you were 10, now that you're 14, what happened? Like, because things happen.
Right.
So the gist of the trailer is we see she's 13 years old.
Yep.
She's growing up. She's like had a birthday and she's kind of awkward and goofy because some kids just when they turn like 13 they get all weird. Like they're getting tall, but then the rest of her body isn't. It's just
right. Or certain things age better than like others.
Braces.
So right. Yeah.
So the emotions wake up. The original emotions. They also had to change out some of the voice actors.
Yes, the fire guys. They're angry.
Here's the thing. Disney, whatever it takes. Make it happen, Disney.
Or at least find someone very similar. Like, if you can walk into the studio and close your eyes and be like, okay, yeah, I can't tell the difference.
But here's the thing, though. There's whoever, I forgot who didn't got reprised their roles, but they couldn't work for Disney again.
Oh, really?
Or what? Well, all is contracted. Then you wait for their whatever project they're doing to end, then have them record their lines later.
Right. Yeah, that's always been a thing. Like, for me, like, again, we probably brought this up again, but the Pokemon with the original Ash.
Yeah, when she found out, like, she just got replaced. Was it a money thing? Was it they didn't want to do it? Whatever the issue was, that sucks.
It sucks.
But they have a demo day. Everything gets all destroyed. And I like the fact that they just went and destroyed things.
And they didn't really replace it.
They didn't, like, make anything better. But when you turn 13, I guess that's what happons. They're like, well, the console's orange. And then it's like an anxiety, which looks like a Muppet.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a person.
It's funny. This person brought up is like, why do all the female emotions look human? All the male emotions all look like freaks.
Yeah. Fear
looks like a freak. Anger is just like a block.
Mm-hmm.
And this anxiety thing is looks like a freak.
Right.
So but why does joy, sadness, and disgust all look feminine? They look like human beings. What's that about?
I don't know.
But here's the big question that no one's been able to answer. I've heard some decent explanations. Why don't none of the adults have these extra emotions? We only saw the core emotions in every character in the first film. Even the animals just had the plain regular emotions.
Yes.
So where's the anxiety? What do they have, like vanity or something? I forget what the other emotions are.
There's other emotions you see, like I guess in the poster. There's like I don't know what they are.
They're coming out of like a manhole, like the Ninja Turtles. It does. It really totally does. Like find the poster. It looks just like it. But one of them's like being lazy. It's called like emunusu. I've never heard of this word before in my life. But I guess it means just being like apathetic. I don't know why can apathy be it, but whatever word they use. Why didn't the mom and dad have those emotions?
Okay, the couple explanations that I can think of on top of my head. One, especially the way the dad's mind worked, it was like a battle station. Maybe those feelings are in the lower levels. But it still doesn't make sense because, again, like you said, everyone feels
adults have anxiety.
Right. So eventually it would come to the main command center. The other theory is if these feelings mix in with the others.
That's what someone was saying. Oh, when she matures, like anxiety and fear technically can work the same way and they become one.
Yes.
Because like purple orange. Kind of like how the emotions or the memories fuse at the end of the first film. So maybe that's what happens with the emotions. Okay, I can buy that. But that's the problem when you do something like, oh, by the way, there's 10,000 other emotions. Well, what about the other characters? And shut the hell up.
Right, exactly.
I hate that.
Well, especially, it would have made more sense. I know it would have kind of ruined a little bit of the first film if they just showed Riley's emotions so that you never knew, because maybe in the other adults there was all these different emotions.
Like there's different levels and tiers.
Yes.
And like, then since she's being 13 and it's like chaos, the levels merged. And then like, oh, by the way, did you know there was other levels? What do you mean there's other levels?
Right, and they could do something like that, except going back to the dad's analogy of the battle station, like, literally all the other...
There's different decks.
Yeah, there's different decks, and the baby anxiety, like, sends notes of being like, okay, that's what we're feeling.
How do you dodge the 13... I know she's a girl, not a boy.
Right.
So that helps, but, like, wanting physical attraction to people. How do you work that emotion?
What's it called? You don't. I think if you're Disney, you don't. It's just too much of a
big mouth.
Yes, it's you don't want
you don't want the horny monster. That's gross.
Yes, you don't want that. But I think now I don't know where I heard this from, but one of the emotions might be jealousy.
Yeah, I think that might have been one. Or, envy or something like that.
Well, yes, and that might be a way maybe where they do it, because again, granted, we don't know if they're even together or anything. There was that boy in that short.
Yeah, they see one on a date.
Right. So I don't know if that's gonna probably.
Well, obviously he's gonna be dating another girl, so that's why she's jealous, and feels awkward because now she's not as cool.
Anxiety,
anxiety, all the things all these other girls are prettier than me, and all that kind of stuff. Do you dive into body issues? Oh, these other girls are maturing more than me. Oh, I'm still a little girl and they're turning into young women. Where do you go with this?
You can, but it has to be done so delicately.
Yes.
Probably better than how they did in Red Panda.
Yeah.
Because
Turning Red.
Yeah, sorry, not Red Panda. Turning Red. Maybe they've learned some of the lessons they made from that movie, and maybe they can apply it to this, because it has to be done very delicately. Maybe talk about it, but not in depth.
Yeah, buying tampons shouldn't be a plot element of the story.
Right. But also, like I said, maybe a realization that, that sadness of
that people grow, your friends are growing up and you're still a little girl.
Right. And because there is always that thing, I guess, with girls is that, they always want to be looking like that image of what they think.
What's in the magazines or what's on Instagram.
Or even in their own minds of what they think they should look like.
Because you also have the anxiety and the I want to say the embarrassment of I still like stickers and unicorns and rainbows, and all my other friends are about dating boys, putting on makeup. and dressing more like adults. Right. And I don't feel comfortable with that. So then I feel that anxiety, do I need to wear short skirts because my friends wear short skirts? But it makes me feel uncomfortable to do it. But do I do it to fit in with my friends? There's 1,000 different ways they can take this. Mm-hmm. But in 2023, what do you say is the right message?
Yeah, that's the
thing is, you have to find out what's right for you.
Right.
Some girls are about makeup and nails and dating boys at 15, 14 years old. Maybe you don't do that till you're 16. Right. Maybe you don't do that till you're 20. Maybe you never do that.
But would Disney put that as the message?
But the problem is, what the world is today, we want the right answer for everybody.
Yeah.
No, everyone's different. Everyone's going to come into their own at their own time and their own place.
Right.
And their own in their own pace. That's what I meant. At their own. Some kids will do it earlier. Some kids it's a little bit later.
Right, and then also it'll be interesting to see how the parents handle this. Usually, obviously, from the dad's perspective, because I always feel like I don't know if it's easier for a dad and son than it is a dad and a daughter. So that dynamic's gonna be different because I really would break my heart a little bit, because in the first one he's so close to her, the dad.
I know, but that's
my little monkey.
But the problem is that's what your kids do, break away from you.
Yes,
it happens.
It happens.
It has to. Because whether you live with you forever and ever.
Right.
But that's another sad thing. You have to be able to let go, and you have to be able to let them fail.
Right.
But she's only 13, so it isn't like this is her going to college or anything.
Yeah, this is not 16, 18, yeah.
But there's 1,000 ways to go about this, but in 2023,
I don't have any trust that they're going to do the right.
Yeah, they're going to be like, she's 50 genders, and she's going to try out a bunch of different pronouns, and, jeez.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you got all that.
And this is my biggest complaint about the first. They slipped it in the first Inside Out. She had her first feeling the very second she was born. No. Babies have feelings in the womb.
Oh yeah.
They get sad. They get happy. They get heartburn. They have emotions while they're in the womb. They don't just all of a sudden have their very first feeling and an emotion when they pop out of their mom. So right. I thought that was weird. That was very.
Yeah, that was a little bit subtle. That was a little slip.
Yeah, that was other things that they're not really babies till they pop out. Shut the hell up. That's so stupid. Mm-hmm. But I don't know where they're gonna go with this, and I don't trust Disney.
Yeah, it's one of those sad moments where you're just like, it could be done right if they had the original, Disney mindset.
Yeah, but they don't have the original Disney mindset. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.